Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one comes from Mammoth Series 2408. Am I the beehole for not allowing my siblings to visit my home until they can be respectful of our differences? My siblings and I lost our mom, or as they call her, their biological mom. When we were young, I'm a 24-year-old male, was 6 when mom didn't make it, and they were 3 female and 2 male. 2 years later, our dad met his second wife, as I see her, while they see her as their mom. This was not something I always understood. For a few years, I always thought they would see mom as their one and only mom, like me, and I really had a hard time with them calling dad's wife mom. My dad did an awful job of trying to help me with that. He tried to insist she was our new mother, and that really made it worse, and my dad's wife handled it even worse by spewing a lot of religious stuff at me. Oh boy. About mom asking Jesus to send us a new, better mom. Wow! I'm picturing her as like the God warrior chick, really looking like that. How dare she speak for the dead and saying that she's new and better? What did she think would happen if she tried to come in strong like that? Holy crap. I didn't think she was trying to be malicious, she was, but not this, what, that's not the way to speak to a kid who loves and remembers his mom. Yeah, I agree. It was my grandparents, maternal, who helped me eventually, where even therapy couldn't. They told me that the kids were so young when mom was taken from us that for them a piece was missing, and dad's wife filled that role for them, and they felt loved and comforted around her, which was the most important thing we could want for that and for them. It was what they need/crave. They admitted to hating it as well, and wished it was different, but also said they loved my siblings more than they hated the situation. It really helped me. Also getting to talk about how different it was for me, because I had my own memories of mom, while they only had other people's memories of her. Yeah, I can absolutely see why they took to the new lady because, they're that young. They didn't really have time to establish memories. I can absolutely see why they were that way. So, I came to accept that we are different now. They had a different mom to me, but I still loved and wanted the best for them, so I learned to be okay with that. Oh man, good for you. You've really grown. This is not true for my siblings, who do not understand why I can't see their mom as my mom. They don't bring it up all the time, but they always do when they visit my home. I always had a photo of mom and us somewhere, no matter where I lived, but now I live with my girlfriend, and we are in our own home, and I have more traces of mom around. They always bring up how I have mom in my home, but not their mom. How I should have real family photos. Oh, wow, that's gross. Real family photos and not old ones. They've come to see me more now that I live here, and it comes up way more often. So, I sat my siblings down and told them we are different. That's something I accepted a long time ago. That, yes, I used to have issues with them accepting dad's wife as mom. I was a kid. I learned to do better. But I didn't really change how I felt or perceived dad's wife. They should work on accepting the same, because it's driving us apart. They told me the difference is that I cherish a memory, while they cherish the living person who took care of us. Mad them. I know they're your family, but them, they're so freaking rude and gross. Ugh. I told them we would never be on the same page, and that's okay. But they should learn to be respectful of those differences, and until that point, they can't come over anymore because they won't stop trying to pick a fight about it. They got mad and accused me of overreacting. Am I the beehole? Well, first things first, OP, you are definitely not the beehole. I think you handled that situation perfectly and the best way you could have. Sitting them down and explaining, the whole situation to them calmly, and you weren't even overreacting. You told them very calmly and precisely what was wrong and that they need to stop disrespecting you because you see your mother as your mother, just like how they see the other woman as their mother. They wouldn't like it if you were over there, saying, hey, that's not your real mother. You should have pictures of this one and you should do this. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that would make them feel horrible, but I guess they can't see it. So, P, I believe you did the right thing in banning them from the house until they're able to, see things from your point of view and come to the conclusion that you came to. So, P, I'm going to say you're 100% not the beehole. You shouldn't be disrespected in your house, and the memory of your mother shouldn't be disrespected like that. OP, not the beehole. And also, screw that lady your father get with. A new, better mother. Jesus sent me. Holy crap, get over yourself. Our next one comes from Electric Rich 2135. Am I the beehole for abandoning my family at an all inclusive after my wedding? We had our wedding at an inclusive. It was beautiful, and since we were having a small wedding, it was cheaper than having a big wedding in town. Smart, yeah, I would do that too. We chose one with a very inexpensive flights and subsidized any guest who wanted to come but might have trouble covering the cost. Oh, hey, that's really nice of you guys. You really have a lot of those destination weddings where people are like, figure it out yourself. You know, we were having the wedding, blah, blah, blah. That's, yeah, good on you guys. We had 50 guests. The plan was for everyone to come down before the wedding, spend a few days enjoying the sun, and then celebrating with us. My mother got into it in her head that this should be a family reunion. Oh, hell. She didn't want my new husband's family there, but it's a wedding. He's supposed to be there. So her plan was to contact our side of the family and tell them to shift their reservations so that they would be coming later and staying after the wedding. Holy hell, OP, she's just taking over your wedding. She doesn't get to make those rules. She also invited other people for after the wedding. Wow. As long as they were part of my wedding block, that was allowed by the hotel. We actually got a little kickback from that, a few overlapped on my wedding day. Anyway, my mom didn't inform me. Of course she didn't. She sounds like a controlling bee. But the hotel did because some of the extras wanted the group price even though they weren't going to be there until after the wedding. Okay, don't give them that price. They're not going to be at the wedding. Don't let them screw you out of a good thing. I was upset, but my mom goes into hysterics if confronted. My husband and I decided to just roll with it. Man, you need to handle that. She's gonna keep making things worse. And if I was the husband, I'd be like, geez, you want to deal with your crazy mother-in-law again? Yeah, OP, you need to confront her immediately and shut that crap down. How dare she take over your wedding like that? Especially if it's a destination wedding, trying to exclude your husband's family from it. Is she gonna exclude him too? Jeez. But back to it. The wedding and the reception went beautifully. The day following the wedding, I ran into some family that I had not invited for some reason. However, we ran into them in the lobby on our way to the airport. My husband and I decided not to have our honeymoon at that resort. Instead, we flew on one of the other ones to the other side of the country. Goodbye Caribbean, hello Pacific. My mom blew up my phone, wondering where we were. I told her we had our honeymoon in Baja, California. She lost her shite and had told everyone that I was cool with the plan. Oh, okay, so she's mad that she's looking stupid, not because she's, overtaking your wedding and trying to force you to do things for your honeymoon when it's supposed to be about you guys. That is gross. I missed the hysterics, which I appreciated. She is still upset and said I was ungrateful and childish. After all she did, what the did she do? She invited people who weren't supposed to be there and tried to force you on your wedding day / honeymoon to do something you don't want to do. She is way up her own arse. I bit my tongue instead of yelling at her for inviting people I dislike to my wedding. Oh man, it was even people you disliked. And on my honeymoon. OP, I'm sure you want to keep your husband and you sound like a good person. If I wouldn't want to subject him to that nonsense, go no contact or low contact with your mother because she seems like an overbearing like psychopath. Well, not you know what I mean, the psycho mom who what thinks she is able to run everything. Holy crap, she made that wedding about her. She turned it into a family reunion. It's not that. It's a wedding for you and your husband, and she ruined your honeymoon, making you guys have to fly away from her because of how awful she is for the honeymoon. Yeah, OP, no contact or low contact. You gotta think about your husband because it sounds like that woman's gonna make his life and your life a living hell. OP, not the beehole. I'm glad you ran for it. And our last one comes from Recording Dangerous 23. Am I the beehole for not letting my stepmom take things that don't belong to her? My dad and his wife, Dora, had a terrible fight yesterday, which ended up them basically telling her, packing up her shite and leave. It's obvious that they're going to get divorced. Thank God, my dad has an ironclad prenup, so she won't get anything. My dad left the house and told me to call him when the bee was gone, so that he can return home. I went to help Dora pack her stuff so that she could leave faster. I saw her packing up the jewelries and I had stopped her and told her these are not hers. She got mad and said of course it's hers. These are gifts. I reminded her that no, these are family heirlooms, and my dad told her she is allowed to use them sometimes, but it's not hers. Okay, then that is just stealing. She got really angry, but went to pack everything else while cursing me under her breath. After she was done, she went to get in the car, and I had told her to stop again. I reminded her that the car is in my dad's name, therefore it's not hers to take. She got even angrier and yelled, "It was a gift to me." I said, "Okay, are you dumb? It doesn't matter if it was a gift. It wasn't in her name." "Oh, yeah, well, there you go. It's not her car." She was an idiot for not making him put it in her name. No, she can't do shite about it. She called me an effing bee and left crying. Okay, I see some people in the comments saying that your dad should have been the one to handle the whole thing, and I kind of agree, but I kind of see why he did that and sent you in, because she could say that he did things to her or do things to herself and say that he did things and have the police down there and get him arrested and screw him over. It's happened. It happens all the time. I'm really glad we live in an age where everybody's cell phone has a camera and you can record in that situation to protect yourself. So I can see both sides. I can absolutely see both sides where he shouldn't have to put his, kid in that situation. But also, good on you for not letting her steal things from you guys. And yes, if the car's in his name, it's his car. And those aren't gifts, those are family heirlooms, and that would be stealing. So OP, no, not the beehole, and kind of the beehole on your dad, but I can absolutely see it as a way of him protecting himself from her, because you got to be realistic. Before anybody is anything, they are human, and human beings are capable of great good and great evil, and you need to protect yourself. So OP, you're not the beehole. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me, and can you please do what I said in the beginning, and like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out, it helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.